First of all, thank you for joining me. We are on the precipice of the finale of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, one of the best seasons, I may say. So thank each and every one of you guys for joining me. I'm a huge Power Ranger fan, and let's kick this off.
Woo! Let's get it.
Let's get it. So first question I have for you guys, were you aware with the connections of the past seasons of Power Rangers when you knew you would be returning, that the past seasons would be ingrained into this Beast Morphers season?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I think none of us did.
Really?
I think the fans knew before we did.
Right.
I think when we got the scripts is when we knew what was happening that episode, but we never really knew anything ahead of time. Yeah, I think that's how it happened, right, guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
And just like our executive producer, Chip, he wouldn't tell us because he would want us to be excited when it happens. Right. So even like when we were building the sets at first, the Power Ranger sets, main unit and second unit, he wouldn't let us see. He's like, you guys can go in there and ruin the surprise because it's not done, or you guys can wait till it's fully done and you guys can, be mind blown. Same thing with this one. He didn't tell us until he was dropping like little hints here and there, but he didn't tell us until the table read, which got us the best reaction out of us.
Yeah.
Even like people in the crew knew not to tell us, because I feel like we'd sometimes try to get it out of hair and makeup because they would get the scripts ahead of time. Like everyone knew what was happening before we knew. Like we were the last ones to know. So we try to like dig and like try to get them to tell us like who was coming back, like what was happening in the next scripts. And they were all really good at like not saying anything until we got the scripts ourselves.
Essentially, it was like you were being a Ranger fan. How they dig into that information as well? I like that, Abraham. Yeah. Now, Rory, this question's for you. The Evox reveal shocked a lot of fans. With Power Rangers RPM being such a beloved iteration of the franchise, can you talk to me about any kind of preparation you had to do for RPM or anything like that?
Dude, literally, they didn't tell us that we were going to have any type of, homage to any type of Ranger season. But luckily, I binge watched a ton of Power Ranger seasons. RPM just so happened to be my favorite season, binge watching. So it was kind of like oh, wow, this is a real thing for me too. Like I straight up watched Scott, just do his thing as the Red Ranger. And then I just liked the season because it had a darker vibe to it as well. And I just love the ending because it was just like, wow, there's just the worlds were being destroyed at this point in time. But no, I didn't have any type of, knowledge of any past Ranger seasons.
Now, Jackie, this was really a love letter. This season felt like a love letter to the fans, a culmination, if you will, for the last 20 plus years of Power Rangers, encompassed into 2 seasons, essentially. And in the finale, we really get to see that. And we get a huge Dino team up. How familiar with you prior to Power Rangers, getting the role of Power Rangers, were you familiar with some of these past seasons and past actors, iterations of the series?
Yeah, kind of the same as Rory. I just really try to binge watch like as many seasons as I could, especially even while we were in New Zealand. I was still, I'd get home and I'd watch some episodes. I'd watch the Japanese version of ours, the Go Busters. So yeah, I really didn't have much knowledge other than like watching Power Rangers with my brother when I was wee tall. Like I did not really retain any of that information. So I definitely had to do my research whilst we were filming and during the whole process.
Now, Jazz, I'm going to start with you on this one. At the end of the finale, there's a bit of an epilogue that happens to let us know kind of where your characters are in the universe. If you had your choice with that 1 year later epilogue, where would you want to see your character at in the Power Rangers universe? We'll go through all of you guys to get there.
That's putting me on the spot, Joe. I think the way how they ended it was very well done. And I think I would really love to see my character, Robbie, to be able to express himself more through painting and having that really, really nice relationship with my mom, but I don't feel like I don't have to hide anything. And also, just being true to myself, being true to, Robbie being true to himself, painting, but also still love becoming a Power Ranger, love being a Power Ranger. And as far as that's what I would just like to see my character to be, a painter.
How about you, Abraham?
I would love to see more of Zoe and Nate's dynamic. because throughout the series, we see them, trying to be in this relationship and trying to make it work out. And then eventually the commander, takes away that rule to where they can't date. And then now they are allowed to date. But I would love to see even more their life outside of Grid Battle Force and outside of being Power Rangers, and just see, where their relationship goes. As well as Steel, at the end of the finale, we see that he becomes human. And we know what Steel is like as a robot in Grid Battle Force, but I think it's so interesting to see what his life and what he would be as a human, and just see all the things that he's always wished of wanting to do as a robot now as a human. So I feel like that would be really, really fun to see him as a human.
How about you, Jacqueline?
Well, so in the finale, everybody kind of has their new roles and everything. And I loved the one line that the mayor hinted that I might run for mayor. So I definitely would love to see Zoe being the mayor of Coral Harbor, but also definitely more with Nate and Zoe. I think we got really nice glimpses of their relationship, but I definitely would love to see more of that and where it goes and how it kind of intertwines with the storyline.
And Rory, your character is the commander at the end of all this. Do you think he would still be the Red Ranger, or would it be Blaze or Jazz's character, Robbie?
So I have thought about this. I think
yeah.
I think that me and Nate had a conversation about this once the commander role became, out there, and I was in line for it. I think I had a conversation, should we give this title to somebody else? And I think Nate's words would be like, the grid chose you, the power chose you, so it's you. So hey, I'm still the
That's right. That's a twist. The commander and the Red Ranger.
I love it. Now, this question is for you, Abraham. I love your character, and I love the storyline about Steel and Nate. And I like the brotherhood that's found there. Can you talk to me about what you wanted to bring to the role of Nate that wasn't necessarily on the page?
Something that I wanted to bring in, I think, was I love in general as an actor playing like kind of snarky roles. So I kind of like wanted to play that with Nate as much as I could. And there are little moments here and there throughout the show where he can, get a little like sassy and like, I don't know, very confident and stuff. So I had a lot of fun playing that when I could. And also like, I really wanted to make it a thing that he says phenomenal at least once in every episode. And there were times where he'd say a different word, like something similar. And I would ask the director if I could just change it to phenomenal to keep that going. And sometimes they'd allow it if it went along with the scene. So yeah, that was something that I also pushed for. And yeah, I worked really hard in showing that genuine dynamic between me and Steel. Just as brothers, Nate never had a family member around growing up in Grid Battle Force was such a adult professional environment. So I really wanted to show that different side of him and just see that connection to a family member and that love that he wasn't able to show all of his life growing up. So, yeah.
Now, I was there at Morphicon when you guys were announced as the new Power Rangers, which is a tradition at Morphicon. And unfortunately, with the COVID, we didn't get that with Dino Fury. But is there a bit of advice that the Ninja Steel cast bestowed upon you that was useful during your duration on Power Rangers? And the second part of that is there anything that you would want to tell the Dino Fury cast coming in from your experience on Power Rangers?
I think Morphicon was such a special time. So I'm so sad that we didn't get to kind of hand that experience over to the new cast. I hope somehow in the future we can, because it really was such a big shock. Yeah. A big shock into just like the entire universe of Power Rangers. And I don't remember any specific advice they gave us, but I did get a chance to have a lunch with Nico before I left, and he kind of like filled me in on how it's going to go. And I guess really one of the biggest things was that they kept saying like, do reality checks with yourself. Like sit down and write about like what you're going through and how you're feeling, because the days are going to go by so fast that you're not even going to remember anything that happened, and all of a sudden, you know, it's over. So I think Nico's biggest advice to me was just like really check in with yourself as much as you can and just be grateful and soak it in. And so I guess I would just kind of pass that advice on to the next cast as well, to just kind of really document this time and really make sure that they're aware of it and present in every moment.
I love that. Now, are you guys ready for a little Power Ranger quiz? Now, again, this is super easy. At least I hope so. It should be fairly easy, and we'll go through it all. But Jazz, I'm going to start with you. What is your character's last name?
My last name, Mr. Shaw.
Was what?
Mr. Shaw.
That is correct. That is correct.
Mr. Shaw.
Rory, what season did your what city did your season take place in?
Coral Harbor.
Coral Harbor. Coral Harbor is the correct answer. Jackie, so the first season had the putties. What did you guys have? What were your guys' henchmen? Tronics is correct. And Abraham, this one's for you, because one of my favorite episodes this season was definitely that musical episode.
Yes.
The Silver Switch. I love that episode. So do you know your season's theme song?
Do
Sing
I know
it.
Oh, like I need to sing it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like, he did the musical, so I'm going to have him sing the theme
Can
song.
we all chime in?
Yeah,
No,
let's
Yeah, you can absolutely.
we all sing it. Let's all sing it.
Dun, 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 dun.
So go Power Rangers. So go Power
With your
Dun, 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 dun.
together with mine.
I love it.
Go, Power Rangers, go, Power Rangers.
I don't think our lag was just so.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Edited together, that's going to be brilliant. Let me just say.
Yeah.
auto-tune on there, and it's the same.
Edited together, that's going to be great. Now,
Put Neil in there.
the last question I have for each of you, if you had to compile your own ultimate Power Rangers team without characters from your season, which other 5 Rangers would be on your team? We'll start with you, Rory.
Ooh, why you put me on the spot? Okay. It would definitely be JDF, Leo, Jaden, Coda. How many people?
You got one more to go.
And I need a science guy. Nate. I got you. Bim.
Well, I know, that was almost a little mini Forever Red there. Nate, 5 other Rangers, who would you choose?
It's always my answer, but I'm just so loyal to my Gold Rangers. So just all of my Gold Rangers from each season.
I love it. I love it. Jacqueline?
Well, okay, I actually really would want Hunter Dino. I think what's her character's name? Maybe Amelia.
Amelia, yes.
I want Amelia on my team because she already seems so cool. And then I think I would want Coda. I would want, this is going to be all day. Like, who else do I
Yeah,
want?
what, 27 plus seasons?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm like,
I need to choose.
everybody. Austin St. John, obviously, because you have to have the OG on there. Let's do Kimberly. How many is that? That's 5, right?
I think, yeah. And Jazz, how about yourself?
Covered up.
I would start with Kimberly, JDF, Austin, Coda, and Davi.
Now, that's a great team, actually. I mentioned earlier that Silver Switch episode, like we've had Power Ranger musicals in the past, but this one took it to a whole new level, and I loved that episode. Can you talk to me about when you knew you guys were going to be doing that, and how much more either difficult or different it is doing that choreography compared to the fighting choreography that you guys might be used to doing?
I think we found out prior to getting the next scripts, which was the musical episode, our executive producer, Chip, texted me if I knew how to sing or dance. And when we get these text messages, like we all know something's up. Like because the last time I got a text like this was if I was okay with spiders. And then I ended up doing that episode with Ravi where he, you know, the teeth thing or whatever, and then I hold the spider. So I knew there was gonna be like something coming, and I responded like, well, I don't really sing, and like I'm okay with dancing, and it was just like that's what it was. And then next thing you know, we get our scripts, and there's just this whole full-blown musical number, and I was so above and beyond ecstatic because I love everything like High School Musical and stuff. That's always been a dream to do something like this. So yeah, the fact that we got to do that was just insane. And then our choreographer was Olivia Tennant, who played Dr. K in our.
Was it really?
Yeah, she's a choreographer, which is really cool because, I mean, I love Dr. K. We get compared a lot, Nate and Dr. K. So it was really cool to meet her and get to work with her on that. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was crazy. It was a lot of hard work. We went in on our days off. We worked really, really hard. And it really was just a dream come true. It was so memorable. It was such an epic thing. And it's cool that, you know, our season got to do it. And like, we're the first to do something that crazy and big and different. And yeah, as you know, it's our favorite, and I think it's a lot of the fans' favorite as well.
I agree. And this season got to do a lot of firsts. So I want to thank all you guys for your time. And the season's been, the last 2 seasons have been incredible. Beast Morphers was phenomenal. And I appreciate you guys for sticking in there and just giving us some great content. So thank you guys so much for your time. I truly appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good seeing you guys. Thank you.
You too.
Now we got
Take care, guys.